What's up? Happy New Year's, everybody. It's Terry Barentsen here. If you guys are new here, I make cycling related videos, and today we're going to talk about something controversial, or maybe not so controversial, something that came up in my um, life recently that I didn't realize it affected me so much, and that is what happens when I don't ride my bike. The footage that we're seeing here is actually a ride we did a few winters back. This is the old um, OCA trail. It's basically an aqueduct that runs from the runs from a dam, and it was the oh my god, I'm spacing on it. I'm a little tired. It's New Year's Day, but let me see. It's an old dam that used to bring fresh water to New York. So it's a real narrow line where there used to be piping that would run all the way to New York City, and because of that, it's state-owned property. So now it's a bunch of like trails, hiking trails and biking trails. So basically, you can ride your bike from the Bronx all the way up to this dam, which is pretty cool because you ride like between and on the sides of houses, and you see a really unique point of view of New York State and part of the city. But this was a particularly really cold day, and it just rained or snowed like 2 days before, and then it rained, and then every night it was freezing over. So we were riding on this like really crushed slushy ice, and I didn't have a fender on my bike, which was a huge mistake. So I was covered with mud. And anyways, this video isn't about this. This is more about the mental health aspects of cycling and how positive they are. And this video is just something I wanted to have a visual while we're riding, since some of the things I'm going to talk about, like riding with friends and being social, is a huge part of cycling, something that helps, I think, keep people healthy. And I didn't realize these things. So back to what I was saying about mental health and cycling is I took a break from cycling for the first time in a long time. And by break, I mean I didn't ride my bike for like seriously go on rides for almost 2 months. It was like 6-7 weeks of not riding. And I think some of that was probably due to how densely packed my summer was, full of traveling and riding. And when I got back to New York, maybe some of that was I was having a really good time all summer, and I think I needed to have some downtime because everything was so up high. Like all the traveling and riding in different countries was just an amazing experience. So when I got back to New York, I felt really drained and just kind of down. The weather was also changing, and it was cold when I got back here, so that had some parts to do with it. So I just stopped. I didn't ride, and at first it wasn't intentional. I didn't ride for a little bit, and then like a couple weeks went by, and then I was like, wow, I haven't ridden my bike in like a month. This is kind of crazy. And then I started to think about it. I was like, well, let me see how far I can push not riding my bike. And when I mean not riding my bike, I mean I would still ride, around the city to go, meet up with people, or like go to my studio or to work or whatever. But as far as going on rides, I wasn't really doing that at all. And I noticed so many things about like mentally, and physically that happened to me. A lot of like I was saying, I was feeling really down, and I don't think it was like, it was, maybe it's a form of depression. I was definitely feeling down, but I wasn't like depressed over anything. I just couldn't put my finger on why I was so down. I was like very low energy. Like it was hard for me to get up out of bed. sometimes I would wake up early and then I would just lay there, not do anything. Like I didn't have a drive to even get up and do anything if I didn't have anything to do that day. I guess in the past I would have plans to go ride or, do this or do that. And when I wasn't riding, I didn't have as many plans, and then I think it all just kind of snowballed. And then that happening, like I was low energy like that. I also became very grumpy and just kind of snappy and not really. I could feel myself, and I knew that about me. If I don't ride my bike for, it would be like 3 days. I would feel myself snapping at people, like, oh shit, I need to go like ride my bike before, I lose all my friends, or people around me, or my girlfriend will be like, "Yo, you need to go ride or something because you're being really snappy." Also, just so once I started going down that rabbit hole, like then I was like very non-social because I wasn't riding my bike, wasn't really hanging out or seeing anybody. So that had impacted my social life a lot. And then I started drinking more, and then I obviously not riding, drinking. I started eating like shit. Even my things I ate started to just become terrible. I just started making terrible choices everywhere. And, gained weight, obviously. I usually put on, a few winter pounds. But this year, I threw on like 15, 20 pounds like overnight. So it was just a dark time. So I thought it would be a good time, being that it's New Year's Day of 2020, just to look back and reflect on this. And I know I've talked about making this video soon, and I thought this was an appropriate day to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Have you guys felt this way ever? Have you went without riding your bike for a while? Like, have you noticed these things? Like, these things are. I was telling a friend about this, and he was like, "No shit. Like, of course, that's gonna happen to you." And I just never thought about it because riding is just such a part of my life that I don't have a lot of time when I'm not riding. So when it finally happened, I got to sit back and like reflect on it. Like, wow, I like have to ride my bike, or else I become a different person, and I don't like that person. So it's interesting. I'm curious to hear if you guys have had to, go through something like this before, because like I said, this is the first time I've noticed it, and it's crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys all had a really good, I hope you ended 2019 on a high note, and you're getting ready to start the new year, in a good place. And yeah, let me know if you guys want to see some more rides like we got up here. I mean, this is a ride that I used to do. It's like I said earlier, it's kind of a grimy, weird ride, because you, like, right here, like to the left, there's these huge, apartment complex, and then this is Yonkers here, and you have to like go on the street like downtown, and it's a little, no offense to anyone from Yonkers, but it feels a little grimy in this part. Like this specific street right here feels a little grimy. And then you like cut off the street, and then all of a sudden you're on these trails again, and it just kind of like bobs and weaves all the way up to it's Croton, Old Croton, the Crouton Dam, up north. And then normally we'll keep riding and go up past that to Peekskill, and then take the train back.
How y'all doing? Hey.
Another fun way to do this ride, when it's warmer though, is to ride from New York City, Brooklyn, and then go up to the George Washington Bridge, and then take 9W and do Bear Mountain, and then cross the Bear Mountain Bridge, and then come from Peekskill and do this trail all the way back to New York. I did that Was it last year? It might have been the year before. I did it with some friends, and it was funny because it's a 120-mile ride, and you're riding on dirt on the way back, so it's a little more taxing on your body when you're tired. There's a lot of bumps. Like I used to do this on a road bike. All these guys are on cross bikes. I'm on my mountain bike on this video, but I used to do it on a carbon road bike that eventually it broke. It's probably from riding these trails, but it was fine. Like I was on 23Cs, but you just have to be really loose because a lot of people who ride this for the first time or are new to riding on, dirt and uneven pavement, they end up getting a lot of flats. You just kind of have to be light on your feet. But yeah, this ride, it was so bad and so slushy and so muddy because look, like both these guys in front of me don't have fenders. I didn't have a fender. There's a lot of people without. Oh, he has a little fender. A lot of people didn't have fenders on, so by the time we got about 1/3 of the way through the trail, and it's like, like I said, to peak scale, I think it's like a 65-mile ride or 70-mile ride. We were like 30%, and like we were waiting for some people to come meet with us, and we were just like already talking like, dude, let's go. Like I'm freezing, I'm wet, like I'm gross. Like we can't even go to like the brewery, or like anywhere to eat, like covered in mud like this. They're not gonna let us even sit down, So we called it, and we ended up taking a train back, which is another, I guess, a benefit of riding on this side of the Hudson is that you have like a bailout plan. You can take the Metro North if you stay on the side. So that's what we did, and it's okay sometimes if you can't do the ride you plan. You got to be flexible and just let things happen. So if you guys want to see the full video of this, I can like put the whole, I'll just call it like OCA rough cut or something. Let me know in the comments. But other than that, I just thought I would throw some riding footage on here. I thought it correlated a little bit to what I was saying about mental health, and I was on a group ride with some people, and we were going through it mentally with the cold and the mud and the sand. So I thought it was a good fit. But anyways, if you want to hear more, kind of like me talking over riding footage like this, let me know. It's definitely something that I'm interested in doing. So it's just another video where I get to talk to you guys and you can hear my thoughts on things. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys really did have a good new 2019, and happy new year to you guys, and I hope to see you guys on the road or out somewhere soon. So ride safe and remember to keep it fun. Until next time.
So we bring to a close the story of rigid control through the unceasing research and the highest quality.